Yeah, what can I do for you, Rod? You just tell me, what can I do for you?
It's a very personal, very important thing. Hell, it's a family motto. Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Here it is. Show me the money.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. I've been on the come up, counting money till my thumbs hurt. No Birdman, bitch, but I'm a stunner. Just watch how you run up. I keep a couple gunners, I've been grinding all winter just to flex all over summer shit. Wrist cold when I fall through, rose gold to my arm, boo. In and out of my city, but come whenever I call you. Who gon' love me more than when I'm stacking out on tour? Them hoes that made it past security, they knocking on my door. You gon' be there when they gone. Show my love by getting more. Hustle so you ain't alone. You won't leave me, that's for sure. I'm talking Benjis, Franklin's, all these hundos on my floor. I just broke a couple bands, believe me, I've been going hard. I'm tipping bottle after bottle, swerving model after model. Who won't cash? That's the motto. Spend it like I hit the lotto. Yeah, I'm loving my life. I know that I ain't shit without you. Actions speak louder than words. They broke cause they just talk about you, huh? I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy. Money bag after money bag, I'm the man now. Play the cards that I was dealt and I ain't need no handouts. Fresh on every set, get respect, mama out of debt. Got a new connect, we the best, homie run the check. Wifey got a new bag, new house, you mad? We just doing us, feeling wavy, fuck a do-rag. This that no stress flow, bobbing on my ex. She don't love cash, kiss my ass, baby XO. Thank you for that line, Mr. West, but I'm next though. Hey, you me the sad bitch, I'm blessed, sipping XO. For the love of money, I stay fucking hungry. I parted ways with the kitchen, that just wasn't for me. Every show they love me, now I'm showing love back. They ain't taking nothing from me, so I throw a couple stacks. You win them in your town, have some fun, blow it back. Fuck with me when I'm around, trust me, shorty, I'll be back, huh? I've been on the come up, running to the ones go. Boy, I got that one up, hustle when the funds low. Sundown to sun up, all I want is the cash. Now homie, run me the stash, put the ones in the bag. Now count up, count up, count up, count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billy, 5 billy, I'm illy.
Yay. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? What's goody? Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Welcome to Alphabets Football Show. I'm your host, Marcus the Alphabets, where we take you on about a 2-hour long journey to discuss our favorite sport in the whole wide world. Week 14, ready to rock and roll. But first things first, let me introduce my lovely co-host. I call her Miss Bruce Willis because she's diehard. Mona, what's good?
Oh, not a lot. Hold on. I'm here.
Yes,
I really am here. It is really me.
That's her evil clone over there.
Ah.
That her evil clone. Yeah.
Actually, I'm evil anyway. So my
evil
clone
anyway.
actually, my clone is actually pretty good.
Your clone is just your clone. It's not an evil or good clone. It's just me. It's just another copy of me. We're doing a makeup show for last night. Like I had let everybody know in the group. Congratulations to Gary Dye, a great accomplishment. Graduated from the
DOT Academy.
Yeah, a new correctional officer in Virginia there. So we're really proud of him. Major accomplishment. So but we're still gonna do what we do here. We just had to push it back a day. If you like football, get your ass up in here. We got a few things to discuss. Week 14, the final regular season game for all my fantasy football players out there that are fighting for their lives, trying to get into the playoffs and make some money. Good luck to everybody with that. So get up in here, like and share the show. Make sure you subscribe to the Alphabets Football Show channel. We're live on Facebook. We're live.
Thanks, Dwayne.
We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. So let's jump up in here, tag some people, and let's get this party started. What'd you say, Mona?
I was getting Gary's attention. He said, "Congrats on your."
Congratulations, man. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff. So don't y'all get in no trouble, especially if you're in the Virginia and the DMV area. What is that? Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Make sure y'all are acting right. You might.
Well, I think it would probably. I don't know if it'd be DMV area or not.
Yeah.
I think most of your prisons go if you're whatever state you're in and you create a crime or whatever. That's the state you're in.
That's where you're gonna get you at.
Because they're gonna get their money off of you.
Got to get that money. It's all a money grab anyway. So jump up in here. Let's get this party started. What we got? What we got going on over here? A few things. A few things going on.
Oops.
Had a few. Not too much news going on. Here's some of your games here. The Sunday games from last week. Texans. Look, the Texans have kind of disappointed me this year, but they did what they were supposed to do. I think we're moving closer to a Doug Peterson firing. It looks like they'll probably let him finish out the year, and they lost Trevor Lawrence in that game. He's on IR. Took a vicious shot. I talked about that a little bit on Coffee.
I don't have that on my news and notes.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is out for the year. He's on IR. He got a severe concussion. I talked about it on Coffee Talk a little bit.
I forgot to mention too. I forgot to put in our news and notes about.
Do you think that was a dirty shot, Mona?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And here's why.
Okay.
Look, I understand. Maybe sliding late. But the defensive player knew he was going to try to get the first down. And in his mind, he's running towards him. And in his mind, he's saying, "Oh, you want to try to get a first down? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so, Bubba. And if you do, you're going to feel it. Because regardless, you don't leave with your elbow and your forearm into his face mask."
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor was already down. That was intentional. Yes, I do think it was intentional. And there's no way you can change me from thinking that it wasn't, because like I said, when he dove towards him, that elbow and forearm comes up, and he knew he was already down. Now, granted, I do think he had already projected to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he had already projected, because I think he was a little bit pissed because he figured that he got the first down. But I also know when I was getting ready to fall on my son, when my porch collapsed and I'm falling forward, the first thing I did was I twisted because he was 8 months old, so he would fall on my chest and I wouldn't fall on him.
Yeah.
Which I hit a concrete slab up from the fence post and knocked my ass out. But he landed on top of me. I messed both of my knees up doing that shit.
Yeah.
4 knee surgery later. But anyway, I didn't land on the baby. So even in that split second, yes, he could have decided to eased off or try to flung his body to the left or the right, either one.
Okay.
I think it was intentional. And I don't believe it deserved a 3-game suspension.
Yeah, he got 3
But then
games,
I'm getting to thinking, we do know, and he's had problems in the past. He just got fined a couple weeks ago for Tony Pollard hit, the late hit. out of bounds. And he also got fined back at week 2 or 3. I can't remember which week, but against the Chicago Bears for punching a player in the face.
Yeah.
So,
You don't want to. You don't want to get that type of reputation. I put a video in the group. If y'all get an opportunity, check that out. Tom Brady actually chimes in on it. I
yeah,
won't
but
get
you
away
know
too.
what? If Tom Brady was still playing, he wouldn't have never said nothing like what he said.
No,
Because
I saw Tom Brady take some licks. I saw a Buffalo Bills game where he got
but if
blasted.
he was currently a quarterback, he wouldn't say start finding the quarterbacks too.
You know, I think also this is the way I feel about it. Uh, Once you leave the pocket, I think we gotta. I think there needs to be some type of rule changes as far as when with quarterbacks. I believe quarterbacks should be protected in the pocket. I really do. I think that while you're in there, you got people swiping at the ball, you got people going high, you got people going low. I talked about this a little bit in coffee talk, where you got people rolling around at your ankles and stuff like that. Mona, you mentioned Van Olhoffen, and people were calling him cheap. And I never thought he was a cheap player. But
Well,
I just believe,
neither did Palmer because they were college roommates and
yeah,
college football buddies.
yeah. But I'm saying when the fans get involved, because it's your team, and the Bengals kind of weren't the same after that because I thought Carson Palmer was on a really good trajectory. He wasn't really ever the same player after that. But anyways, I just believe once you leave the pocket, it's game
You're a running
on.
back.
You're a
Once you
running
leave the
back.
pocket, you're a running back.
If Saquon
But-
Barkley's out, if
but
Saquon Barkley's out
The
there,
only problem I have is
okay,
when they slide. Now, when they slide head first, I'm sorry, that is not the way to slide. Yeah, you know what? If you slide head first and the player hits you, that's all on your ass. You're stupid. You need to, it is easier to slide feet first. I played ball all my life. It is easier when you're running the ball. It is easier to slide feet first than it is head first. The only reason they go head first is because they try to project the ball a little bit further on the field. That's why they do it.
I get my issue is this: once you leave outside the tackles, you leave the pocket and you start running downfield, there should be no more protection. It should be you're not a quarterback no more. And a lot of this stuff would be eliminated. And this would also mean, okay, if you really don't want your quarterback getting blasted, stop running all these RPOs. You're putting him in a position to get hit. When I'm playing against Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts, these guys are a problem. Once they start running, Josh Allen's a damn 250-pound quarterback. Lamar Jackson's runs a 4.2, 4.3. I don't like that you already get all of this protection in the pocket. Now you're going to get more protection outside of the pocket.
Let me correct Dwayne a minute. I did actually play powder puff football my junior and senior year in high school. And trust me, if you've ever went to a high school girls football, they might as well just let us play tackle. I got knocked out my senior year. A girl grabbed my flag and she had a hold of my sweats at the same time. And as she was trying to jerk, she flung me down and I landed head first and it knocked me out. So, but anyway, that being said, no, I didn't play actual football, but I played softball and I played volleyball and I ran track.
Stop running your quarterbacks. That's my advice to y'all. Stop running your quarterbacks.
You don't
want your quarterback to
but
get.
I do feel that when a quarterback goes to slide feet 1st, that you shouldn't be able to hit him while he's on the ground.
I don't agree either. But if you go and you slide late, and we're both trying to get to a certain point. Let's say the first down marker is the 30-yard line, and you start your slide at 29. I just feel like, hey, it's look, these are bang type
The only
plays.
issue I have is you clearly see in slow motion he brings that elbow and forearm up to hit him in the face mask or underneath the helmet.
I'll say with this with Aziz is he from here on out, he's kind of a marked man. because now you start getting, I put another slide in the group. Who are the dirtiest players? You don't want to be on that list where people start just like you're a dirty player. So serve your suspension. I hope you're able to continue on, and we wish Trevor Lawrence the best to get better.
And I will say one
next
thing.
year.
One of the players that was on that dirtiest players list would have been James Harrison. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You said you didn't think he was. I don't think he even thought about being a dirty player. But I do think that he felt that if he got to the quarterback, he's gonna knock his fucking head off. I think that I'm gonna hit him so hard I want him to dislodge the ball. I do. I think that was just him. That was how he played.
I think the person out of all of them that they thought was a dirty player, and again, because I'm a fan, there were a lot of people that felt like Hines Ward was a dirty player. They actually changed the rule because of him. There were people that thought that Roy Williams, the safety, was a dirty player.
The Hines Ward rule. I remember that.
The Hines Ward rule, the crackback block, the Roy Williams rule. He's the one who started the horse collar tackle rule. They started doing that because of him. They made that. So he broke Terrell Owens' leg, when he pulled him down. So, it's a matter of your perspective. But any way it goes, is not a list that you want to get on where players look at you and they're like, he's a dirty player. I think a lot of people believe that Vontaze Burfict was a dirty player. So we'll see what happens. Washington Commanders, they get back in the winning column. They put up 42 points. Jaden Daniels, he jumps back into. I thought that he was leading the offensive rookie of the year race. I think that Bo Nix has jumped ahead of him slightly, but this was a nice win for them. They need to get back on the winning track. Seattle, they get the win over the Jets. The Jets are done. They're a disaster. They're going to have to they got a lot of stuff. Aaron Rodgers looks cooked. He looks cooked. He's talking about, I'd like to come back next year. I don't know if I bring back Aaron. I don't say I don't know. They should not bring back Aaron Rodgers next year. He looks terrible. Terrible. And I tried to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but he just looks bad, you know? How do you throw up?
I was going to mention something real quick, too, before you went to that part.
Yeah.
The Hines Ward rule prohibits players' head, shoulder, or forearm to make contact with an opponent's head or neck during a blindside block. And quite frankly, that wasn't a blindside block. It was a head-on collision block. Yeah. But he still brought that forearm up to hit him.
Yeah.
So,
well, they changed it now. You can't crack back block anymore, like at all. You cannot come back towards the line of scrimmage after you've passed it. That's the main thing with it, because he would come back and just, and then he was an awesome blocker anyway. And then he blocked with like nasty intent to like knock your head off. I liked it.
What was that tight end McDonald for us?
Oh yeah.
That one damn
Vance McDonald. Yeah, Vance McDonald. He was nasty too. Colts, they get back into the winning column. Anthony Richardson, there was a lot of people that kind of soured on him. I think he has a lot of talent. His thing is that
I think they don't win that game if the Patriots had better weapons on offense.
Yeah, but yeah, they got to. Drake May's playing good ball
quite well, and his receivers are not playing bad ball. But if he had a legit running game and a legit number one receiver, then I think it would have been a different.
I think that's the next step in their progression. Vikings, cue ball your Vikings. They get back on college story. Y'all's Vikings. They get back on. I thought I actually had the Cards winning this game. I thought that was one of my missed picks. Sam Darnold's kind of slowed down.
I didn't miss none last week.
Congratulations to Mona. She got 6. She went 16-0 last week.
And I forgot to pick the Thursday night game for this week.
Yeah. Your Steelers, they get the win over the Bengals, AFC North. Look, Joe Burrow I said this earlier in the week, if the Bengals had a winning record, Joe Burrow would be running away with the MVP. He's doing everything he can on his part to try to make that team better. Their defense is terrible.
I've tried to tell her about that.
They're,
But I'm going to tell you something right now.
yeah.
I still think, as many close games as they've had, I feel it's Zach Taylor. I feel that Zach Taylor has been getting pretty bad the last 2 years. And you're a head coach. And you are this close. I mean, look at how many games that they've lost by a few points. I'm sorry, but as a head coach, I think he needs to be held accountable. Yeah. And I think he should be on the hot seat, right along with Shanahan. Is it Shanahan with the 49ers?
Yeah. Yeah. Blaze isn't a fan of Zach Taylor. The Chargers, they get the win over the Falcons. Justin Herbert, he's playing really good ball.
The only thing Justin needs is he needs some offensive weapons.
They got to. This offseason, whether through free agency, whether through the draft, I'd really like to see them be a little bit more explosive. There's really nobody over there that scares you. Disley, the tight end, he's playing okay. J.K. Dobbins, he's out again. He got hurt again. I think he's going on IR. So they just got to get a little. But their defense is nice. And Harbaugh, you starting to see what the Chargers are doing, what they're kind of putting together there.
That has to be the most frustrating thing, being one of the highest scoring stat padding teams and can't get any wins. Well, look, we tried to talk about this a while back. When you put all your money on the offensive side of the ball, and they're going to have to do that again. They're going to have to do that again next year, because you got to pay Chase, you got to pay Higgins, you got to pay Hendrickson.
Yeah. I don't think Higgins. I don't think Higgins is going to be there.
I don't either. But a lot of Bengal fans, I've heard them say they would rather keep Higgins, try to get him some kind of a good deal.
Yeah,
that he will stay. But you cannot pay Chase, Higgins, and Hendrickson. You just can't do it.
It's just not going to. And Burrow. Burrow makes $55 million a year. They got some decisions to make over there. Rams, they win. Look, I've always liked Matthew Stafford and the kid Kyron Williams. They got a nice little 1-2 punch with their wide receivers, and they got some. We all know that they lost future Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer. He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, Aaron Donald. But they went out this draft, and they got two studs. Yeah, they got two studs on that defense. Verse, who's my defensive rookie of the year front runner.
You want to know who I think is in trouble?
Who's that?
On the West Coast?
Who's that?
The San Francisco 49ers.
They're
in trouble.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely talk about them. Eagles, they get the win over the Ravens. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley. And look, I know that the MVP normally goes to a quarterback, but if it does not go to a quarterback,
it would not hurt my feelings.
It would not hurt my feelings if Saquon Barkley won it. What he's doing is just incredible. He's on the trajectory to break Eric Dickerson's 2,105 yards. He's just running wild. I mean, just running up and down. 70-yard touchdowns, stiff arming people, jumping over people, hurling people.
I think he has to pass. I think he really has to pass it up by a couple of 100 yards. Only for the simple fact that they have an extra game.
Yeah, I think if he breaks that record, with the way that the league is built now, which is more of a passing league, for you to break a 40-year-old record in a passing era, I think that says a lot. If he just breaks it, I think that's a hell of an accomplishment. Buccaneers, they get a win. Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, and Bucky Irvin, he's just kind of taking over that backfield there. Everybody thought it would be Rashad White, but it's really the rookie Bucky Irvin, rookie out of Oregon. He's playing hella ball. Evans,
I think he's our player of the month for November.
Yeah, he's playing outstanding. And then the San Francisco 49ers, they fall to the Bucks in a nasty nasty game out in the
To the
cold
Bills.
to the
They
Bills.
Bills. Not the
The 49ers, Ramona, like you said, a couple of seconds. So the 49ers have some real issues. They're going to have to really reevaluate their roster construction. You got some aging players over there. Trent Williams, he's not playing this week. You got Debo, who's kind of fallen off. Purdy, he looks
Losing
normal.
Brandon Ayuk didn't help.
Losing Brandon Ayuk because he's their best receiver. When I tell people that, they get, no, he's not, Marcus. It's Debo is a weapon. He's not a number one receiver. Debo's not the kind of person you put on the perimeter. You'd be like, okay, you're going
To
against.
me, he's a Tyreek Hill type player. He just ain't Tyreek.
He's not, to me, he's not Tyreek Hill. Tyreek is a receiver. I can put Tyreek Hill on the outside and say, go beat this number one corner.
I didn't mean that he was a receiver. What I mean by that is they are both weapons.
He's a weapon. Yes,
he's a weapon. Yes. Just like Tyreek Hill is a weapon.
He's a weapon. But Tyreek, the reason he makes the money that he makes is because I can line him up outside and say, go beat Satcher Surtain Jr., go beat Sauce Gardner, go beat Trayvon Diggs, and he can do it. I can't do that with Debo. I have to scheme him open. I have to do certain things to get the ball to him. I cannot just tell him.
The one thing Debo has taken advantage of being with the 49ers is when Brandon Ayuk is out there, they can't just double team Debo.
Yeah.
And Debo's getting double teamed right now. Anything that he does, where he goes, they've got one guy on him and a spy.
Yeah.
That's how you beat the 49ers.
And the thing now they
ain't got no running backs.
And that was what I was just about to say. Before they got Christian McCaffrey, they were lining him up in the backfield. Well, now I can't really put you in the backfield because we got two really good running backs now. Because the kid Jordan Mason, he's nice too. He was in the top 5 in rushing for most of the season while Christian McCaffrey was out. And then we all know what Christian McCaffrey is. Christian McCaffrey's out. Both of their starting running backs are out. So they're gonna have to decide. And then Purdy is up for a contract. He's eligible for a contract now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see what they have to do. They just look outmatched out there, and the Bills look very impressive. One of the critiques that I had of the Bills recently was I was like, they're a dome weather team. They're in a cold weather city, and that's how they constructed their team before. They're not that anymore. They're running the ball very effectively. James Cook ran wild. The rookie kid, Ray Davis, the backup, he runs. I liked him coming out of Kentucky. And Josh Allen, that play that he made where he threw it and then Amari Cooper lateraled it, that's going to probably be your ESPN play of the year. Incredible play.
I don't know. It might be, but I don't know if it will be. I still think the backwards hurdle from Saquon is.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. The Bills.
I mean, he didn't score a touchdown, but
the Bills still have to prove to me that who they say they are, despite their record, they look good because of their soft schedule. Okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I've also heard that same criticism of the Kansas City Chiefs. They're like, well, the Kansas City Chiefs, they keep winning these close games. They barely beat the Carolina Panthers. They barely beat. This isn't the Kansas City Chiefs team that we've been accustomed to. But in the end,
games that they won in the last seconds of the game.
Yeah. So
by miraculous, field goal.
In the end, what you want to do is you want to win. That's the bottom line. In the words of Herm Edwards, Mona, you play to win the game. You want to win the ball game. There are no style points for winning ball games, but I hear what you're saying. But I think every team pretty much in the league has some type of weakness that they could address. So we'll see what happens as far as that. Broncos. This was Monday night game. The Broncos, they get the win over the Browns. Look, again, Bo Nix. For me,
that Cleveland Browns game, that night didn't help that Wonder Boy threw the interceptions he threw.
Yeah, look, it didn't. But I will say this though, Jerry Judy impressed me in this game. Jerry Judy, a lot of people here wrote. Look, we're gonna have to start questioning Sean Payton a little bit. Uh, he said that Russell Wilson was cooked. He said that Jerry Judy's cooked.
Yep.
Russell Wilson looks pretty good in Pittsburgh, and Jerry Judy had 250 yards receiving.
Yeah.
So against the Broncos defense, with Patrick Surtain shadowing him, so maybe some of these players that you didn't think is that good, maybe you misevaluated some of these players too, because you see players going off having success in other places.
I seen a comment in a post about Sean Payton saying they thought he was racist.
I don't know if I know that Sean Payton, he's head. I don't know about that. Sean Payton, he comes from the Bill Parcells coaching tree. And guys like that, they're old school cats. I don't like the way he handled the Russell Wilson ordeal. I don't, but
I didn't like the way he handled the Jerry Judy thing.
I don't like the way he handled it, but it benefited both sides. And you know, when I did Coffee Talk the other day, I talked about that. It benefited your Steelers, Mona. You got probably the best quarterback that you've had since Big Ben Roethlisberger retired, and they found their quarterback who's going to be their quarterback for the next 10 years at least.
Dalton says he also didn't let Kamara score his 7th rushing touchdown.
Look, we talk about reputation. That some of these reputations is not the type of reputation that you want. Always be careful about your reputation. So
Dwayne says he can't be racist. 80% of the league is black.
No, that didn't stop John Gruden. But anyways, here's your news and notes. You read some of them text messages he put up there. He kind of showed his color. No pun intended. Dexter Lawrence, New York Giants standout defensive tackle, was leading the league in sacks for a little bit. The one technique. He's out for the season. I really hate that this happened to him. You know, we wish him a speedy recovery. I also didn't like that he didn't start Taysom over Winston when Breeze got injured. Well, Taysom Hill, Taysom Hill has never been really a good quarterback. He just hasn't. And that he's 35 years old now, and they were trying to make him into a quarterback. Taysom Hill has always been, to me, a more athletic Tim Tebow. That's what he is. He's an outstanding athlete, and when you allow him to run around and do some stuff, he's very athletic. But as far as throwing the ball consistently down the field, Taysom Hill's not that guy. And Jameis Winston was the number 1 overall pick, and they were thinking that they could maybe revive his career with the Saints. That's all that was.
I think Cleveland Browns may very well can.
I think he'd be a hell of a bridge quarterback. They need to figure out that situation over there.
I figured they're going to draft a quarterback in the.
They got to it. I would still try to see if because they only signed him for a year, and maybe he could be your bridge quarterback. They got to get that Deshaun Watson contract issue fixed though. What we got next? Mona, an old friend of yours. If everywhere you go, there's conflict, what's the one common denominator?
He's kind of starting to. He don't run his mouth. He really don't run his mouth that much. He's not like Antonio Brown did, but he's starting to kind of lean me towards thinking of an AB type, just a problem player.
You don't have enough skins on the wall. People put up with Antonio Brown. People put up with T.O. People put up with Randy Moss. You want to know why?
Because of their talent. Yeah,
you're not those guys. So you're not going to get the same type of treatment. Jimmy Johnson, he used to have a saying. He goes, I don't treat everybody the same. I don't. My star players, if Michael Irvin does something jacked up, I talk to him. But I see if you're an undrafted free agent, I'm probably going to.
They made a lot of excuses for him while he was in the league.
So he's suspended for this week here. He's kind of
Because
complaining.
he refused to go in. They called his number to go in and play against the Eagles, and he refused to go play.
He was complaining that he wasn't getting enough playing time. It's like, okay, who are you going to come in there? They run a lot of 2 tight end sets. That's Andrews and Likely. Then you got their starters, Zay Flowers, who I don't think that you're better than, and Rashad Bateman, a former first-round pick. They brought you in there, and they're starting to see it didn't work out with you in Carolina. It didn't work out with you in Pittsburgh. And now you're already pissing these guys off. So I hope this week he kind of does a self-evaluation. You're on a good team that can do some things, that can do some damage down the road, but you got to get your mind right, because the reputation and film that you're putting out there is not very good right now. 10 straight seasons, 10-win season, double-digit wins for Andy Reid. I did a coffee talk this past week talking about my coach of the year, front runner, Mike Tomlin. Yes, I said it, Mike Tomlin. Taking Justin Fields and Russell Wilson and having them as the number 3 seed in the AFC. But to me, Andy Reid is the best coach in the NFL right now. Period. They just win. So, I thought once Belichick left, I thought that it fell right into this guy here, what he's doing here. Since he's come over from the Eagles, has just been incredible. So, they got a little dynasty going over there, and we need to give him his flowers, give him his props. So, congratulations to Andy Reid for what he's doing over there in KC.
Yep.
His former offensive coordinator, they made it seem like he left, and then I had to read the story again. They're like, oh, they mutually departed. He got fired. And I'm still hoping that he gets an opportunity in the NFL. He was over there with the Commanders. Then the Commander, when Dan Quinn got the job, they got Cliff Kingsbury. When they fired Ron Rivera, Cliff Kingsbury got that offensive coordinator job. So he decided to go to the college ranks. Somebody with one of these coaching vacancies that we're going to see here in the next few weeks, or I would like to see him go back with Kansas City. I mean, if all else fails, maybe.
Let's keep it back. The Kansas City Chiefs offense, since he left, has went slowly downhill.
I put a video in the group. Today. If y'all get an opportunity to check that out, go up in there. It's titled "Was Eric B the secret sauce to the Kansas City Chiefs offense?" If y'all get an opportunity to check that out. But look, he's going to be available. I would like to see him get an opportunity in the NFL. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep a close eye on that. What happens with Eric Bieniemy? Like Meek Mill says, everything that you do, there's levels to this. Every week we bring our power rankings and our statistical leaders in all of the major categories. Not much change except the Ravens dropping. I think they were in front of y'all still after y'all beat them.
They dropped down 3 spots.
So they just keep losing close games. And Justin Tucker, I talked about this on Coffee Talk. Justin Tucker, whatever it is, bro, you got to snap out of it, because you really kind of cost them that game. You missed 3 field goals and an extra point. I mean, this is a guy who at one time was the most accurate kicker.
As a Steeler fan who have won a couple of games with only field goals.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to say, I don't think you can blame just your kicker, because there were some really messed up plays in that game.
Got you. You're missing extra points. You're missing extra points. He would never have done that. And then he was the most accurate kicker, and he's missing like 40-yarders. This is a guy who at one time kicked the longest field goal in NFL history, and now he's missing extra points and 40-yard field goals.
Yeah.
You can't I'm at the point now where I can't trust you. I can't trust you. They lost that game by like 3 points. If he makes 2 of those field goals out of the 4 that he missed, they win that ball game. So Bills at number 2. They're the number 2 seed in the AFC right now.
They got a
Eagles.
couple of games coming up. They got to be really careful.
We got
they've already won their division.
Yeah.
But they could lose their number 2 seed if they try and sit out, key players.
And you all are right on their butt. Y'all, they've lost 2 games. You've lost 3. They still got a lot to play for. They also have the opportunity. They're 1 game behind the Chiefs for that number 1 seed. So they have a lot of motivation to keep it going. Let me see what else we got here. Chargers looking good. Wow, just seeing the Texans at 15. That's just wow.
The Vikings moved up 1.
But we're gonna.
I did the Packers.
Look at the 49ers. Goodness. I mean,
and they lost to the Lions.
Yeah.
So, this is definitely going to change. This is going into week 14.
Yeah.
They just lost to the Lions last night, so they're probably going to go down 1 or 2 spots.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted on it. This changes every week. So it's just you see some teams, they start a slide and they just can't get out of the funk. So we'll see what happens as far as that. Right now, today, if the playoffs were to start, Broncos would go to Buffalo. The Ravens would go to Pittsburgh. The Chargers would go to the Texans. On the NFC side, the Commanders would go to Philly. Green Bay would go to Seattle, and the Vikings would go to Atlanta. And Atlanta's like 6 and 6, and they get the host. Anyways, that's your playoff picture. They're 6 and 6, and they get to host a game. That's crazy. So here's all your standing here. Buffalo, they've already wrapped up the AFC East. And Dwayne, I get what you're saying as far as that division. That division, Houston. They it's not a lock that they win that division. We're going into week 14 with 3 games. The Indy still has an opportunity to get that division. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, y'all are in a fight over there. Y'all see each other again, so it's not a lock.
We see them again. We see Cincy again, and we see Cleveland this weekend.
All of them. See them again. Chiefs, they've already punched their ticket, but they haven't got the division yet. But look, they're going to probably send 3 right now. The AFC West would send 3 teams to the playoffs. So I think that says a lot about that division. Jumping over to the NFC side, Philly, they're doing their thing over there. They look like the most complete team. A lot of people feel like Detroit is, but they're probably I'm looking forward when they meet each other, Philly and Detroit, Minnesota, and Green Bay. Wow, Green Bay, they could send 3 teams.
Yep.
And then the NFC South, Jesus, man, they're bad.
The NFC West ain't much better.
Yeah. And despite that, the 49ers could still win that division. I don't think they're going to do it, but they could. And I don't see it happening. I mean, they're only 2 games behind.
I don't even know if they win another game.
Yeah.
As bad as beat up as they are now.
Yeah. So there's your standings there. Here's all your offensive leaders here. Again, Joe Burrow, what he's doing over there, it's just a shame. The work that he's putting in and it's just not translating the victories. Lamar Jackson at number 2.
It will never translate to victory until they fix that defense.
Got to.
No matter, look, I don't care who you are. You have to have a stud defense. Defense wins championships. And if you do not have at least a middle-of-the-road defense, you're not winning games. You have to be able to stop your opponents from scoring.
It's really tough. Kirk Cousins is still in the top 5, and I still think that they need to let the kid play because he has looked bad. He's throwing for a lot of yards, but he's also turning over the ball a lot. Jamar Chase, he's running away with the receiving title. And his college teammate, he's at number 2. Scary Terry. The kid, the rookie, Brock Bowers, who I have as number 3 on my offensive rookie of the year, behind Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels. What he's doing over there, he's basically the Raiders' number 1 receiver.
What he's doing with the Raiders, to me, puts him up there dead even with Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, no
because
doubt.
He's doing it with a non-quarter. I mean, just
horrible. Aiden O'Connell. He's doing this with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Jerry Jeudy jumps right into the top 5 with his performance this past week. I think he had like 257 yards. Just had he looked like Alabama Jerry Jeudy.
What that tells me really is how not so great. Even though they won, that defense is not that great. Their offense, and Bo Nix is having a hell of a year. He really is. I mean, that's why we have him right now just ahead of Jaden Daniels in the Rookie of the Year. But honestly, I just think their defense needs a little help. And although they had 3 interceptions in that game?
Whose defense?
Jerry Jeudy got 250-some yards against the Denver Broncos defense. That's a problem. Fix that.
It happens sometimes. I mean, it like, look, I saw the 85 Bears get cooked by Dan Marino on Monday Night Football game.
Dalton, I got to post this here.
Okay.
Read this. You've been saying this for years.
I have been. Yeah, this guy here, Kirk Cousins did what the person who really started that was Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's the one who kind of started that. He had been doing that. I
think Kirk Cousins has done it a little longer.
A little bit more because one of his contracts was like, I think it was fully guaranteed. I think he was the first one to get like a fully guaranteed contract. So, look, so Jerry Jeudy, I'm happy for him. I hope that maybe they can work out something with Jameis Winston, because it seems like they have a nice little rapport over there. And CeeDee Lamb still doing, in the top 5 without, Dak Prescott. I think that says a lot too. So I think he's still a really good receiver. They got to go get them a number 2, so people just quit, just double teaming him. We had the Saquon Barkley versus Derrick Henry battle. Even though they're not on the field at the same time. The thing with Saquon that separates him a little bit, in my opinion, is the speed. And I tell people about speed. I call it the Kerry Collins effect. Yeah.
I had to post that.
When you're a running back and you can take something that should only be 3 yards, and you take it for a 70-yard touchdown, that's the speed element there. Because as a defense, you have to guard every blade of grass on the field. They can take something and they slip away, and then this guy takes it to the house. And right. Saquon Barkley, you're just starting to see this. This what I talk about with the speed element. This running back looks slow. That's the difference right there. When your running back can get it and take it to the house, a 70-yard touchdown and outrun everybody down the field. But Josh Jacobs, I've been very impressed with him getting away from the Raiders and getting into it. He is a feature workhorse type back. And it just goes to show you too, 3 of these running backs are former Alabama backs, in case nobody noticed that. Just saying.
I noticed it.
I don't know. I'm a huge running back fan. 3 of these running backs are former Alabama running backs. So, and then Kyron Williams, I really like what he's doing over there. He's got a nice little 1-2 punch with him and Blake Corum. So, congratulations to all those guys. I don't know if anybody catches Saquon Barkley. I don't know. This guy, he's just having a year. You can't load the box against him. Because he's still got A.J. Brown and Smith on the perimeter. Now, Goddard just went on IR today, but we'll see what happens. And then on the defensive side, because my co-host is such a defensive connoisseur.
Defensive mindset kind of gal.
Yeah. Trey Hendrickson, look, we talk about the elite edge rushers in the league. You know, we talk about the T.J. Wattses and we talk about the Myles Garretts and the Micah Parsons and the Nick Bosa's. We got to start talking about Trey Hendrickson. He's been doing this for a minute, and he really doesn't have anybody on the other side that can kind of take attention away from him. He's out there kind of by himself, you know. And the kid Benito, this kid came out of nowhere. You know what he's doing over there with the Broncos. You know, they got a nice little defense. You know, in the secondary, they got Patrick Surtain Jr. And then Daniil Hunter coming over from the Vikings. He got a nice little two-man game. Him and Will Anderson Jr. They got a nice little thing going on over there. Joseph, and we got a two-way tie with him and McKinney. McKinney has been at 7 for like 3 weeks, man. He was leading the league in interception. Marlon Humphrey, and then your guy Jackson Mona got 5,
Jackson. Yep.
and then Murphy.
I think one of the things with Dante, and I'll be honest with you, I think he was kind of overlooked by a lot of people. But this kid, he has got an eye for the ball. When he's on defense, I mean, it's like he can read the quarterback's mind. And I'm just really impressed with what this kid has brought to the game.
Is he a rookie?
And especially in Pittsburgh. He was in the NFL draft with what was it, 2018 or so. Okay. He started with the Panthers.
Okay, yeah. And then you got a nice little with him between him and Joey Porter.
But he's only 5'10".
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was overlooked so much, because he's 5'10".
I think also too, Porter travels.
Yeah.
So Porter this allows him to. So
Porter
this
got quick grabbing. I'm going to go up there and cut his hands off.
Yeah, I seen this football coach one time. He made his defensive backs wear boxing gloves in football practice.
Can we put him in games? Can they put him in like non-webbed?
Put him. You can't grab nothing with some boxing gloves. That's what he do. They
won't let him play football with boxing gloves on, but
no, I'm saying
non-webbing gloves or something.
Yeah, in practice, where you get out of that habit of just grabbing people, he's very grabby. So that's your interception leaders there. Mona, give me some diehard players.
Yeah, these are Rocky Blyer Tough Guy Awards.
Diehard Rocky Blyer, your Rocky Blyer players.
One of the toughest running backs, I think. I've seen a lot of good running backs, but I'm gonna tell you something. The one thing, if you go back and you watch when Franco was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he tells everybody, look, I don't amass the yards I had without having Rocky Blyer opening up holes for, which I don't know that I totally agree with that, but Rocky Blyer definitely did open some holes up for him. Through in the 70s, man, them two together, whew, they were awesome together.
They were pretty nasty.
Yeah. All right, so our defensive players of the week for week 13 are Jaheed Steele with the Chargers. He had 3 tackles, 3 pass defended, 2 interceptions, and a 61-yard interception touchdown return. Then we have Leonard Williams in the NFC with 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 92-yard interception touchdown return for a touchdown.
A pick 6 on Aaron Rodgers, by the way. A pick 6 on Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Pretty bad.
And he also blocked 1 point after attempt. So, yeah. So, congratulations to those guys. Our offensive players of the week for week 13 are Josh Allen with the AFC, 76.5 completion percentage rate, 166 total yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 141.3 passer rating, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown. So there you go.
Yeah, that play that hook and lateral from Amari Cooper, that's going to go down as one of the best plays of the year.
Then on the NFC side, we have Bucky Irving. He rushed for 152 yards with the Tampa Bay Bucks, 33 reception yards, and a rushing touchdown. on the NFC side.
This has taken over that backfield over Rashad White.
Yeah. So congratulations to those guys. Special teams players of the week for week 13 are Keeney Wangwu. Wangwu, right?
Wangwu.
Yeah, because when I
The
looked it
silent
up to
N.
find out how to pronounce it, the N is silent. 3 kick returns, 157 yards on 3 kick returns. Kick return for a touchdown, the 99-yard return for a touchdown, and then 1 forced fumble. So
You just see, and see, this is the most frustrating thing about the Jets. Every week we see something. Brees Hall, Braylon Allen, Garrett Wilson. They got talent over there. Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams.
Well, I think the biggest thing is they really don't have a head coach now because they fucking fired Saleh, and I think that was the biggest mistake they could have ever made.
And they can't settle the quarterback position. Now they got to go into this offseason and find a quarterback. Still.
Exactly. And then we have our NFC special teams player, Braden Mann, with the Philadelphia Eagles, 6 punts, averaging 51.2 yards punting. He had 5 inside the 20-yard line. He had 2 inside the 10-yard line. And he had 1 inside the 5-yard line. And that one was a hell of a kick. That was a hell of a kick.
People just don't understand field position. Field position can really change the course of the game. It really can. It really can.
All right, so then we have our players of the month for the month of November. I'm going to run through these. I ain't going to read the stats. If you want to read the stats, you can go watch the show and read them. We had Patrick Surtain the second on the AFC for the month of November. And then we have Jonathan Greenard. Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
With the Minnesota Vikings. Our offensive players of the month, we have Joe Burrow. We were just talking about what he's been doing for this team and still not winning games. And then we have Saquon Barkley with the Philadelphia Eagles. Just having an amazing season right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Special teams players of the month, we had Jason Sanders with the Miami Dolphins. And then we have Jake Bates with the Detroit Lions. And these guys are having, career years right now. So, and then we got our rookie players of the month. And on the defensive side, we have Braden Fisk with the Rams. And you were just talking about Brock Bowers with the Las Vegas Raiders. So, congratulations to those guys as well.
By the time he's 27, he's going to be bald. You talk about losing hair.
I'm just hoping he gets away from the Raiders.
Yeah. He's.
I want Max Crosby to get away from him. I hate that he's spending the last of his years with the Raiders, and they're not doing anything. They're not going to go anywhere. Yeah. I mean, they got to get a quarterback. We'll
see what Tom Brady does. He's part of that ownership group now. I think one of the main things that they're going to do there, he's going to be. I would think that he would have some say in who's going to be the next starting quarterback of the Raiders. I would think he would have some.
One would hope so.
Yeah.
One would hope so. I got my first Christmas card today in the mail.
I got my first Christmas present in the mail today.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right. Yep. You can show them.
Appreciate that. I will. I'm definitely.
They got screwed up.
Hey, I'm gonna put them up in there. These are week 13 games or week 14 games?
Week 14. I forgot to change it. Sorry, guys.
Okay. That's all good.
Week 14 games. I think I changed it here. Week 14 or Thursday night game.
So I keep thinking today's Friday because we normally do the show on Friday. So this was 2 nights ago.
Right.
Very entertaining game. Very entertaining game.
It really was. It was an entertaining game. And I didn't see a whole lot of bad calls. I mean, there were a few missed calls, but
the Lions are a problem. They're just, they can beat you in so many ways. They got a good defense. and then they play a power running game, and then when they want to go fast tempo, then they go with Gibbs. They got speed, they got power, they got everything. Laporta, Jamison Williams, the Sun God,
And they got a good offensive line. They got a really good offensive
they
line.
just, I like Penei Sewell. Mona, you've heard me talk about Penei Sewell for.
We all said he should have went to Cincinnati.
He's just now he plays right tackle, but he is just dominant.
I think he could have been he could have easily been trained to play left tackle.
Yeah, he's really good, and I like I like the Packers too. It's one of those games where they just play down to the wire. I love what Josh Jacobs is doing. I like Jordan Love. To me, though, I'm going to say this with all of their receivers. I still don't know if they have a number one receiver for the Packers, like a guy that they did. I like Jaden Reed,
like a Devontae Adams was for Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, they got to me they got a bunch of good number twos. Reed is nice. Wicks is nice. Watson's nice. Dobbs, when he's healthy, he's nice. But they don't have a guy that's just like, okay, this guy right here.
Who was it they lost in this game against the Lions?
Say what now?
They lost somebody in this game versus the Lions early, like in the first or second quarter.
Dobbs left the game. And
I feel like if Dobbs hadn't left this game, I think they win this game.
They just to me, they got a bunch of number twos, and I think that they need to go and get a guy and draft them high. They drafted Christian Watson.
But the way they finish every year, they're not going to be drafting high.
Yeah.
And so, at that point, they're going to have to be willing to either give up a player, or give up a future draft pick to move up and get a good receiver.
I would like to see them somehow in the draft move up, though,
or maybe in a free agency.
That's T. Higgins, a guy like T. Higgins. But congratulations to the Lions. They're right now. They're tied for the best record in the league. They've only lost one game, like the Chiefs, and they're just, I don't know. This team just feels different. They really do. They've been such a disaster over the years, and they just, Jared Goff is playing good ball, and they just, Dan Campbell, he kind of made a gamble at the end. He's like, you're not getting the ball back. We're gonna go for it on fourth down. They could have kicked the field goal and tied up the. He's like, no, we're gonna go ahead and make sure that you don't get this ball again. So, it kind of bit him in the butt a couple of times last year, but he's going to take risks, and he's like, I'll be damned, whatever. I'm going to go do this. So, congratulations to them. Very entertaining game. I really enjoyed it. Very entertaining game. So, so we're ready for week 14. Mona, we both took the Lions for the Thursday.
No, I didn't. Well, I did in Sports Cruise. I forgot to pick them on my daggone.
Make sure y'all check your picks. I did pick this.
I had a perfect week last week and missed the very first game because I forgot to pick it. I just had so much crap going on. Yeah. Trying to get ready for Gary's graduation Friday and trying to get everything. It was just a mess.
Yeah. So we're ready to make our picks now. We're gonna jump down to the 1:00 games. First game. Brownies at your Steelers, Mona. Do the Brownies get?
No.
Do the Brownies sweep your Steelers, Mona? Or y'all gonna get you're gonna get your lick? You're gonna get your lick. You're gonna get your lick back.
In Pittsburgh, they're coming to Pittsburgh. Although I will tell you, George Pickens is questionable for the game with a hamstring injury. He was limited practice for Friday. And I think maybe they even limited him a little bit today, too. So, which I don't think you'd do a full practice on Saturday anyway. But, he's questionable. So, if you got him in fantasy, keep an eye. Make sure he's going to be playing. And maybe it could be internal. Maybe this is you know what? We're going to suspend you under the table. You're not playing this week. But Yeah, and then somebody said, "Oh, well, they don't want even playing that one another fight with what was his name, Deal Tap or whatever the hell his name is." After the game,
Dale Pitt.
although Pickens didn't get fined, Deal Tap got fined for that play, for that after the game fight. So, because it clearly shows him grab Pickens by the helmet and sling him down on the ground. So, I'm taking Pittsburgh. You know that. I'm sure you knew that.
I'm pretty
It's at home. He'll be lucky to be able to hear himself talk. It's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious. And I bet you don't see no brown flags flying. Because that's the one thing you don't ever see is anybody come into our stadium and take over our stadium. Just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Let me see. I got running down here. I'm going to say 34-28.
34-28. I'm also taking the Steelers 28-24. They've shown a few things
They scored
on.
more than that in that snow game. And then he's supposed to, I don't think it's supposed to be snowing this weekend.
Yeah, I don't see them.
We're not dropping the game, dude.
I think y'all are going to be a little bit more locked in. I'm sure Tomlin's like, I want my
Not only
league
that,
back.
but after the game against Denver,
Yeah.
Myles Garrett had kind of a hamstring injury there at the end of that game.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's playing. I don't know if he's questionable. I haven't looked.
Yeah.
But that could be key for their defense.
For sure.
Trust me when I tell you, Myles Garrett plays a huge part in that game.
Yeah. No doubt.
I have. I actually went to, oh God Almighty, the Cowboy Steelers Super Bowl back in the day.
Last Super Bowl we won.
To kill, I'm telling you, man, 30-6. Neil Donald, oof, freaking 3 interceptions, 2 to Larry Brown. Yeah, don't even get me started.
Yeah, that was.
I went to Big Ben's first game against the Baltimore Ravens when Tommy Maddox went down too, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Trust me, they put him in by halftime. I was pretty well lit because I was with my brother and my stepbrother, and I was pretty well lit. First pass, he was an interception, from Big Ben. So, yeah, that was torment. But I got to watch him. I went to Baltimore and watched that game.
Awesome memories.
Yeah. Some of them. The Cowboys Super Bowl.
That Super Bowl, it was a good memory for me.
Bobby, my ex-husband was a Cowboy fan, and we did not talk the whole way back to Fort Worth, Texas. Let me assure you, we did not talk. Because he went to open his mouth, he had this grin on his face the whole way. And he had this grin on his face when we got in the truck. And he turned around and looked at me, and I said, if you say one word, you will be walking back to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
So he didn't say nothing, but I couldn't get rid of that.
That's one of those. Yeah, I won a lot at for that game. I think I won like $600 on that game altogether.
Wow.
Saints at Giants, Mona.
I am taking the Saints.
Okay.
Giants is, you know what? Just fold it up, roll it up.
Get that number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Go get Shador and call it a day.
I'm taking the Aints. If you take the G off of the Giants name and put an S up there, it's the Saints. So I'm taking the Saints. I use all kinds of weird crap. My granddaughter told me to take the Lions. I asked her, I said, who's going to win, the Green Bay Packers or the Detroit Lions? She goes, the Detroit Lions. And then rolled her eyes at me like I was crazy. So I took the Lions, but I forgot to take them. I didn't. Yeah. Anyway. I'm taking the Aints. I'm going to say, I don't think it's going to be a high scoring. 20, I'll give the Saints 24, the Giants 12.
You said 20-12?
24-12.
24-12. I'm also taking the Saints 14-10. I don't expect a high scoring game. Tommy DeVito versus Derek Carr. Saints, Jets at Dolphins.
What was your score?
14-10.
Okay. Jets and Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins. This will be the game that the Jets actually win 42-12. I'm just teasing, but usually they usually split a game. Yeah, but I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm gonna say 31 Dolphins, 26 Jets.
I'm taking the Dolphins too, 35-20. Brees Hall's already been ruled out for this game.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that.
He's already been ruled. He's on couple of my fantasy teams. Braylon Allen's going to get the start, but I don't think that. I think Braylon Allen would be a starter on 20 other teams in the NFL. Jags at Titans, Mona.
I'm taking the Titans. If they were playing, because Carolina's actually been playing some pretty good football.
Mac Jones gets the start for the Jags with Trevor Lawrence being on IR.
We're not talking about. Oh, you said it's Jags, ain't it? Jags. No, yeah, that could change their offense a little bit because there's no film, and he's actually got a few weapons, more than what he ever had in New England. Jags Titans. They're playing in Tennessee, though, and Tennessee's not playing too bad.
Their defense isn't Titans' defense isn't too bad.
I'm going to take the Titans 21-18. And I hope Mac Jones has a hell of a game. If I get it wrong, oh well.
I'm taking the Titans too.
21-18.
I'm going to say 20-14 Titans. I think that's going to be another low-scoring game. Okay. 20-14 Titans. The Kirk Cousins Bowl. Kirk Cousins returns to Minnesota, where he played for the past few years. Falcons at Vikings, Boone.
I'm taking the Vikings. I mean, they've lost 2 games this year, and I just don't see them losing to Kirk Cousins because that defense knows Kirk Cousins real well. So I'm taking the Falcons or the Vikings. 31. $31-21.
31-21. I'm going with the same score with you, Mona. 31-21 with the Vikes. I'm going the same score with you.
Okay.
Panthers at Eagles. Carolina's been playing. They've been playing okay the past few weeks. Bryce Young. I'm
going to take the Eagles, even though the Goddard's out. Mm-hmm. I think they're being careful with Goddard because they want to preserve him for the playoffs.
Okay.
So I'm still taking the Eagles. I still think that they can win. I like their 2 little rookie quarterbacks. I really do.
Cooper DeJean and Kenyon Mitchell, they're playing really good ball.
So I'm going to take Eagles. 30. 31. $18.
31-18. I'm also taking the Eagles. I think the Panthers put up a little bit of a fight, but I just think the Eagles just have too much. They have too much firepower.
30 with Goddard being out, I think it.
I think it's going to be more of a Barkley game. I think this is more of a Barkley game. 30-20 Eagles.
Okay.
Raiders at Bucks.
Well, we just saw how the Raiders played against the Chiefs. Or was it that the Chiefs just played down to the Raiders? I mean, they've always played each other tough, kind of year after year after year, even when the Raiders suck. Let's see. I'm still going to take the Bucks.
Okay.
Well, if Gooden is in there, it would be so much easier on Mike Evans to get. What is it? How many more yards does he got to get?
He got to get 500 in the next 5 games.
I'm still going with the Bucks. Raiders. Bowers is in there though. 24-14. Bucks.
14. I'm also taking the Bucks. I think Aiden O'Connell's going to be slinging around and just probably locking onto it, but I don't think it'll be a high scoring game. 21-14 Bucks. Seahawks at Cards for NFC West supremacy.
I'm taking the Cards.
Okay.
Look, Seahawks had an advantage. It was raining when they played up there in Seattle.
No Kenneth Walker Jr. He's out for this game.
Right. I'm taking the Cards. 26, 21.
26, 21. Oh, man. I went with the Cards last week, and they really disappointed me, but I'm going to roll with them again. They lost by 1 point last week. I think it was against Denver. I think it was against them. Cards. I'm going to go Cards too.
Who did they lose to last week?
I think it was the Broncos last week.
No.
20-18. I'm going to go 2018 Cards. 2018 Cards. Bears at 49ers, Mona.
I'm taking the Bears.
Yeah. No Christian McCaffrey, no Jordan Mason, no Nick Bosa.
I just think they're going to have a problem stopping Williams. And he's starting to play a little bit better.
He's playing much
playing
better.
better football right now. I'm going to take the Bears. I'm going to say 24-18.
24-18. I'm going Bears also. Close game though. 21-20. 21-20.
Okay.
That would really set up they would be feeling really good about themselves. For Caleb Williams would be. Buffalo Bills coming off of that destruction of the 49ers last week.
And they're going to be hot. They're going to be hot. So I'm taking the Bills. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game because they're playing in LA. And they have to go all the way to the West Coast to play. But I'm taking the Bills in a close game. But they better not let Randy get too much of a lead in this game.
Congratulations to Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld for their engagement too, by the way.
28-24 Bills.
I'm going Bills too, but I'm with you, Mona. I think the Rams are going to give them a hell of a fight. This could really boost up their team. I might by game time. I might take the Rams on this. The Rams they're playing for a lot here. And plus, I got to make up some ground. Sometimes I'll make picks just because I got to make up some ground. Bills 28-24. Bills. Oh, that's the same score that you had.
Yep.
Okay. And Sunday night football. Chargers at Chiefs.
I am taking the Chiefs. Because I just don't think they have enough weapons for Herbert.
Okay.
Defensively, I think they can keep the score low. I don't think Chiefs are going to run over top of them. I think it's going to be a close game, just like the last few games they've had. It could be the end of the fourth quarter.
I think you see a little bit more Pacheco in this game too. I think they start.
I do, and I do think the Chargers kind of have a problem stopping the run. So Chargers defense is legit, though. I mean, they're legit.
They are.
Defense.
They really are.
That to me, they're better on defense than they are on offense because Herbert doesn't have enough weapons.
No.
Herbert needs a good running game, and he doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not bad, but they're not.
They tried with J.K. Dobbins, but I just think J.K. Dobbins, like they need to go in
he
this.
left the game last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't play last week. Gus Edwards started last week.
Yeah, week 4 last he got hurt. He was out.
Yeah.
Is he even playing in this game?
Nope.
Yep. So.
Gus Edwards starting and Kamani Vidal, I think that's his name.
The only thing I hate about it is the Chiefs really they let Snead go, and I just think that hurt their defense tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
But they still managed to win games. I'm going to say 24-21 Chiefs.
24-21. That's a good score, Mona. Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game too. I could see the Chargers possibly winning this game, but I think this week you start to see them open up a little bit more with Pacheco. I've always liked Pacheco. He was my first round pick in most of my fantasy leagues.
What, 2 weeks? He's been back 2 weeks now. So
last week was his first. Last week was his first week.
Okay.
I
think they said he could have came back the week prior to that.
Yeah.
But they just kept him out for another week. And I think Pacheco has a good game. I mean, Chargers are good. They're going to game plan against the run. I mean, they're not going to stack the box, but they're going to game plan against Pacheco running.
Yeah, he had a run last week where I'm like, okay, there goes Pacheco. He took off down the left sideline, and I mean, I was like, wow, this is a guy just a few weeks ago, was been out for a broken leg, and he did that little run he did when he's just like stepping on ants while he's running.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 24-23 Chiefs. Now, they don't have Butker either, but the kicker that they've had that's taken over for Butker, he's kicking pretty good too. He's doing pretty good.
All right, so we have the Monday night game, and that's Bengals and your Cowboys.
I'm taking the Bengals here. I know the Cowboys got the win. They're on a 2-game winning streak. You beat the Giants and the Commanders. That the Commanders, I like Scary Terry. He ain't Jamar Chase.
No.
And nothing the Giants have on. I like Malik Neighbors, but then they were playing with Daniel Jones. What's that?
Is Bland back?
Bland is back. Bland's been playing. Diggs hasn't been playing. Diggs had got hurt, but they're talking about DeMarcus Lawrence playing this week, so he might be. But I don't think that they have enough firepower. You've got to have firepower to play against the Bengals.
Yeah, because they're going to score high points.
They're going to score. If you can't keep up with them, you're playing. You get down, 14-0, 17-0. They could blow you out. And yeah. I just don't think right now, the quarterback, he's playing good. But what Burrow and Chase and Higgins is doing, and in the back, Chase Brown, and then you're going to have, I don't know who the hell is going to be trying to block Hendrickson. I don't like it. I'm going Cincy.
38-28 is my score, Cincy.
And Dallas finally won their first home game of the season. 38-28, you said?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 35-24 Cincy. I just don't think Dallas has enough firepower as presently constructed to do that. So that's all the games there. That's it. That's everything. Am I missing it? Once again, congratulations to Gary. We're doing this show to make up for our Friday show. For the this
Proud Mama had to go to his graduation in Richmond, which was about a 5.5-hour trip. So
we
got back about 11:30. I guess I could have done it last night. No, I couldn't either because it was so cold in my house because I forgot to leave the furnace on. And it was 15 degrees when I got home. It was like 28 degrees in my house.
It's been a little nippy here too. Mona, last words.
Just want to thank everybody for showing up and continuing to show support. We love every one of you guys, and I love when you guys are interacting with us during the show. And we are talking seriously about doing some debates, maybe dropping the first segment of doing like last week's scores and stuff, and maybe coming up with some debate topics and just add it to the end once we get done with the show, and then add it towards the end, and that way we can invite people onto the show to do some debates.
Yeah, we listen to what y'all say, and some of the stuff we're reviewing it. I do the coffee talk now, and we're kind of, kind of hashing over material that we've kind of covered during the week. So we want to keep it interesting, keep you guys engaged. Thank you to everybody who tunes in to the Alphabets Football Show on Friday nights with my lovely co-host, and thanks for everybody who gets up on Mondays through Thursdays for coffee talk. I'm trying to do a little bit more. And Marcus, you guys got to do more material. I have a little bit. Mona's got a lot of stuff going on. I have a lot of stuff going on, but we try to, I try to get up and do my coffee talk. I've actually kind of enjoyed that because I get to kind of, chop it up with y'all, first thing in the morning. It's fun. I've actually kind of learned to enjoy that. But let us know if there's a subject that you want to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the same team every day, but hey, you want to, Marcus, what about this? Mona, what do y'all think about this? And we'll try to address it. Okay. Make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Get your Alphabets Football Show merch. I'm going to do one more order before the year is up. So I'm trying to get everything out before Christmas and make sure that y'all get it by Christmas because my vendor, they take vacation. So if you want Alphabets Football Show merch, 27 for short sleeve t-shirts, 37 for long sleeve t-shirts, 52 for hoodies. Okay. Let me know so I can get those ordered up for you. I hope everybody has a good night. Congratulations to the conference champions in football. Is the Oregon game still going on? Oregon and Penn State.
I know. I don't know.
It's Oregon and Penn State. Congratulations to Georgia for beating my Longhorns. Congratulations to Army for winning the American
Oregon Penn State game is 3 minutes and 46 seconds left. Oregon's winning 45-30. So I don't think Penn State ain't gonna win.
They're number one, so they're gonna have a bye week, I think, in the playoffs.
Yeah, Oregon's number one.
They're gonna have a so congratulations to them. Congratulations to Boise State for the Mountain West, and congratulations to Arizona State for the Big 12. I didn't know when the hell did Arizona State move to the Big 12. That used to be where Texas and Oklahoma play. These conferences now. So congratulations to all of the conference champions. Georgia for winning the SEC again. Mona, I know how much you love Georgia. So
yeah, I was definitely a Texan fan today.
Yeah. So
SMU. Listen, the SMU Clemson game. It's a minute 56 seconds left. 24-31 Clemson.
What conference is that?
And
Is that the ACC?
SMU has the ball.
Is that the ACC? What conference? What conference championship is that?
I'm not sure.
Is there still a SEC? There's not a Pac-12 anymore. I have to. I'm like, what about the? There's no Pac-12, Marcus. The Pac-12 mixed with the Big Ten now. It's crazy.
Hold on, this game's almost over. Hold on.
The Longhorns are in the SEC now. It's crazy. Can't keep up with it. They change it up. Like they're not even in the same part of the country. How the hell is this? How the hell is Missouri in the SEC?
Oh, you're serious.
Missouri's right next to Michigan and Illinois. They should be in the Big Ten, and they're in the SEC. West Virginia's was in the Big 12, and it's on the East Coast. I don't understand. It's mind numbing.
I may have final. Hold on. Look. Everybody had Clemson winning this game, but I ain't gonna lie. I've been pulling for SMU.
I don't know what.
And they have the ball right now, and they're moving. They're moving the ball right now. I just don't have the game on because I had it on before the show, and I always turn my TV off before the show. So let's see what the game. Let's see what the score is right now.
Look, X amount of inches on right now. It's starting.
Let's see. We have. Tell me the score. Come on.
Let's see here, ESPN.
I'm not even sure what channels they're playing on. I was watching it, I thought, before the game, but it's showing it they're still playing.
Clemson, SMU. That is the. That's for a playoff spot. I don't know.
And what do you know about Oscar Valdez and the Emmanuel Navarre fight?
I have no earthly idea. I know that there's a UFC tonight. There's a UFC. But we're out of here, y'all. See ya.
Have a good one.
Low, sundown, the sun up, all I want is the cash. Now, homie, run me the stash. Put them ones in the bag, now count up. Count up. Count up. Count up. I'm talking 1 milli, 2 milli, 3 milli, 4 billi, 5 billi. I'm illy.